Ahoy there! Captain Benzie here, coming at you with another episode of Hard to Port. This series is where I take a look at the various different Android ports of classic video games. And this time around we're going to be looking at Metal Slug, a classic arcade game from 1996, back on the Neo Geo. Now before we jump in, if you do enjoy this video, let me know by hitting like on it and consider subscribing to the channel for all things mobile gaming. Let me know what other games you'd like to see me cover, either in this series or just in general on this channel. Either let me know in the comment section down below, or on the various social media channels you can see along the bottom of your screen now. Right, that said and done, let's jump in to Metal Slug. Now Metal Slug has a firm place in my heart. When I was a kid, my dad used to go out to a driving range at our local golfing club, and inside the main pavilion there, I would sit with a cup of hot chocolate and my mum, waiting for him to finish, and there was an arcade machine there for Metal Slug, and I used to pound the 50 pence coins into this thing as quick as I could, because it is a tough game. Anyone who's ever played it will tell you that this game is insanely difficult. So what I thought I would do today to showcase whether or not this was a successful port, or whether it was hard to port, was I would just jump into a main mission on easy and see how far I get on one continue. Now I'm going to do this first of all using just the controls on the screen. I'm then going to do it using my Razer Raiju mobile controller, and I'm sure you'll see why. So let's jump into a main mission first of all here, playing the single player mode. We're going to change it down to easy and we're going to put it onto arcade mode. Now this is a full-on run-and-gun game, kind of like Contra used to be. You can see it's all about just you move, you shoot, you've got your various different power-ups. Let's skip through this bit. So we've got an arcade stick in the bottom left, and our buttons on screen here. Now, it's not bad with the standard controls here. It can be a little bit tricky to aim and to like move happily between the different points. Like there, you see I'm kind of sliding off the stick. There we go, let's rescue a prisoner, shoot these guys. Jump up here. When you rescue the prisoners in Metal Slug, they tend to give... Ooh, crikey. They tend to give you little upgrades and various different things as well. Like here you see they take off their boxes, and now I've got a heavy machine gun, so I can gun these guys down and proceed onwards. And now I've got a flamethrower. Yay! You do also get the grenades and various different bombs as well that you can use back to the heavy machine gun, because in comes a helicopter. Now, this is my problem with using the on-screen controls. It takes a bit more practice. It's not impossible, but certainly it is trickier to kind of move that stick and get between the different places that you want to be. It's just a little bit more finicky using that stick, which is why I said I would start this off showcasing just the on-screen controls, the touch controls, and then I would come back and showcase using a mobile controller. So let's go through. Keep going, these guys, all the little divers. Now, the wonderful thing about Metal Slug is it just keeps going, and I love the... No, go away. I love the hand-drawn sprite look. I love the crazy amount of action that you get on screen at any time, and of course, the Metal Slug tank itself is just a piece of video gaming history. And again, I'm trying to aim this, but the controls are just being that little bit too finicky for me. Yes, the tank can jump. What about it? Take on the helicopter. Pull back. Again, with the controls, the buttons are absolutely fine, everything's nice and snappy, but getting the accuracy that you want on the stick is just that little bit. I'm not overly satisfied with it. I'm sure some people will do exceptionally well with it and can enjoy this absolutely fine. I'm not going to sit there and say that no, you shouldn't download this game if you don't have a mobile controller. 100%, you should. This is a great little game, and if it's your kind of thing, I can't recommend it enough, especially if you're watching now and thinking, actually, this looks really cool. It's Metal Slug. This is a classic video game. This used to be one of the greats. I mean, heck, SNK. SNK were probably at one point or other the video game developer. These guys came out with some of the best fighting games. The Metal Slug series for action and arcade. There were just tons of really great arcade games made by SNK. They are just, as far as I'm concerned, were one of the absolute greats of all time. And there we are, that is the first mission done, so I can get through the first mission using the touchscreen on a single credit. No, I want A, not pause, to push on to the next mission. As I said, it's just slightly finicky using this stick in the bottom left, because it is actually a proper 8-way stick, and as you can see by me sort of moving my thumb in a circular motion here, it does kind of click between those points. Now, some people might really like that. I suppose it is very reminiscent of an actual arcade stick, which, as far as I'm concerned, can only be a good thing. It's throw a bomb at you and get you out of the way that way. There we go. And then go through here, especially things, now this always gets me. Trying to do the crawling under these. Really, you have to kind of stop and really focus on that stick for moving under these. And I'm pressing entirely harder on my screen than I would like right now, and I'm going to die anyway because I can't stand up, and I think that's my continue. There we are. So we are going to come out now from this. I'm going to pause this video. I'm going to set up my Razor Raiju, and we're going to go back in and see how this plays with controller instead. I now have my Razor Raiju mobile controller set up and plugged in and all ready to go, so let's now go into the main mission. Again, we're going to set it easy into arcade mode, skip through all of this, and showcase how this works now instead with a controller. Oh, crikey, I've got to remember the buttons. That's always a good start. There we go. Heavy machine gun. Now you just get a much greater degree of accuracy, much stronger level of control on this. You can see that I'm able to platform a lot more accurately, I can place my shots a bit better, and I can just move and aim that little bit nicer as well. To me, that's a big difference. If you want to take this game seriously, then absolutely... Oh, crikey. Absolutely, you should concentrate rather than talking to the people who are watching your video. But if you want to take the game seriously and actually see if you can high score and all this kind of thing, then a mobile controller of various types is going to do you really well on this. Now, it doesn't have to be something as crazy as a Razor Raiju. Obviously, I know this is sort of what you'd refer to as a premium mobile gaming controller. Quite frankly, if you've got a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One and you want to, heck, even an Xbox 60 or PS3, you can set up the controllers. And you just want to sort of, like, you know, you plug in that controller to play it, it's wholeheartedly worth it. This is one of the games that when I get hold of my Jungle Cat later this week, I will be doing my test on how well the Jungle Cat works using Metal Slug. Because, quite frankly, this game is all about that accuracy and sort of using your... it's a great test for a controller is what I'm trying to say, because of how you can aim there. You see I can actually get those diagonals, which I couldn't before, and I can really pinpoint with those shells, which is just so much better, so much nicer to be able to actually accurately aim your shots. Ugh, let's get up this hill, keep going. I don't know why the tank can jump, don't ask. When I was in Tokyo as well, actually, one of the first things I picked up out there from... God, I can't remember the shop now. It's in Akihabara. Anyone who's been there can probably answer in the comments section below the name of the shop. It's something Kodabashi Camera, I think. It's a huge department, huge multi-level department store. And they have all kinds of stuff in there as well. They had a build-it-yourself version of the actual Metal Slug tank. So, of course, I had to buy this. It's one of those build-it-yourself, then you paint it yourself. It actually moves, the turrets all move and that kind of thing as well. I'll see if I can find a photo of it somewhere and put it on screen now. This was just one of my favourite games as a kid. Like, a lot of happy memories playing this at the golf club while my dad was out on the driving range. This and hot chocolate with whipped cream on the top. I don't know why, just those are what I remember of that golf club the most. And I just love this game. He says nearly... forgetting which button is jump, and that's never a good thing. There we are. Now you'll see here, I've got a lot more accuracy now that I can properly, there we go, use a stick. Wait for him to come back up. And we're going to keep crawling. And we're going to quickly move past you. Now that's something you definitely would not be able to get away with on the standard sticks there. The amount of accuracy I managed to pull off there, I'm actually amazed with myself that I did that. But there we go. We're going to get under this shot. Get this guy out. Ah, no, that's not my continue yet. So I've made it further. I have made it further. I have proved my point that this is much easier and more accurate, shall we say, with stick than it is with the on-screen controls. But I think also at the same time I'm kind of therefore proving that the on-screen controls aren't atrocious. They just don't feel quite the same. Yeah, rocket launcher. Ooh, crikey tank. We don't like tanks. Tanks are scary unless I'm in them. There we are. And the boats, so we're going to use lots of grenades. There we go. I don't care about that upgrade there. Jump over and aim down. Jump and aim. Again, trying to do this with the on-screen controls, it's doable, but my goodness, is it tricky, that whole jump and aim down. I would like to have gotten that rocket launcher upgrade there, but it's not going to happen. Jump and aim down quickly before this becomes a problem. We can take that out. There we go. Eat, go away. And down it goes. Okay. Can we get to the end of this mission? Still on that first credit. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. As I said, this is a blasted tough game, and I am majorly out of practice. But I'm fairly impressed. Ooh, crikey, tank. Go away, tank. No, there we go. And that's the continue there, I think. Yep, there we are. So there we are. You see I get a little bit further using the controller. You know what? For the video, yeah, let's keep going on this one. Because why not? I want to keep going. If you guys want to stop watching, you can do. I've kind of proven my point. But talking about whether or not this is a good port, I think so far the footage is kind of saying everything. The fact that I want to keep playing it. Ultimately, this game is a childhood favourite of mine, as I've said. And is this a good port of it? I'm still playing it, aren't I? I'm thoroughly enjoying this. I don't want to put this down. I want to keep going, even though I'm losing. So basically, yeah. Is it a good port? 100%. This is a great port of this game. Which one should you get? Because there is Metal Slug 1, Metal Slug 3, Metal Slug 5. Personally, I've always been a fan of the original Metal Slug. I do also really like Metal Slug X. They're all worth it, in honesty, but I think if you're going to start with one, you really should start with the original. As the games go on, they start getting a little bit crazier and more in-depth, to the point that I think by Metal Slug X, it's not just tanks that you ride, but you get battle camels at certain points. You get various different aircraft that you can fly around. There's a lot more of the upgrades and things like that, of course. It just becomes that little bit more bitty, I suppose, is a way to describe it. That there's just more going on, whereas obviously the original is straight up, straight up and down the purest experience for Metal Slug. There we are. And this is kind of, I suppose, almost where bullet hell shooters started. It's obviously very Contra-esque as well. But I just love the hand-drawn art style on this one as well. It's just, it reminds me so much of the old Neo Geo arcade days. For 1996, the graphics on this are frankly just insane. And that's me dead because I can never remember how to jump out. No, I actually managed it this time. There we are. Quickly. Grenades. Yes, and that's mission 2 complete as well. Just, I mean, how beautiful the SNK games were back in the days. You know, this is sort of mid-90s. Look at other games from that era and compare how this looks. It's just insane. Just absolutely insane. Look at how, like, not Guilty Gear, Fatal Fury, King of Fighters and all that kind of looked, compared to even, like, Street Fighter and that at the time as well. Then look at Mortal Kombat and how that was back then. You know, just SNK really had, like, not a monopoly, but they knew what they were doing. Their games were fun, action-packed, ridiculously hard. They knew how to keep you coming back and punching in more and more credits, and that's me dead, and I will stop on this continue. They knew how to keep you punching those credits in. And let's be fair, we did. If you'd played one of these in the arcade back in the days, you really did just keep punching those credits in. There was nothing you could do to stop playing this. Oh, crikey. There we are. Well, other than run out of credits, which of course is what I'm going to let happen here. We're going to push that down to 0 and get a game over screen. For me, this is an incredible port of an incredible, well-beloved game. Is it worth your time? Wholeheartedly. If you've not played Metal Slug before, 100% you really should give it a go on mobile. This is honestly one of my most definitive ways of playing it. Yeah, you can get it on PC, you can get it on consoles, but for me, the ability to just pull this out when I'm standing in a queue somewhere and just do a quick round of it is incredible. And especially if, as you saw, you can go into main mission, you can go into mission mode and play any of the missions that you've already done. You kind of select which of the missions you want there. You've also got the multiplayer option, which if someone else has got a copy of the game as well, you can play it with them. and have two of you against the computer. You've got the records you saw there at the end. It said, did I want to save the replay? You can save your replays, which is just incredible. It's great fun to watch through those and see where you went wrong and work better towards that next high score. Settings, they're kind of what you'd expect, nothing special there. For me, this is genuinely the definitive port, and I don't think I've ever said that when it comes to a game that, the mobile port is the best version. I would take the mobile port over the PC port or console port any day of the week, purely because I can pull it out on a long journey and just keep playing. Anyway, folks, that's all I want to say about Metal Slug. 100% you should give this one a download, give it a try. 100% one of the greatest games of all time. Incredible fun, incredible tough, will keep you coming back for days, weeks. Just, heck, 1996. They're 24 years old and still going strong. Anyway, folks, let me know your thoughts. Are you a fan of Metal Slug? Have you played this version of the game? What do you think about it? Let me all know in the comment section down below or on your various social medias of choice. Happy sailing, and see you on the battlefield!